Hey, all you certified unscripted viewers. This is Staley, and I know I was supposed to appear on the podcast tonight, but unfortunately, due to a schedule conflict, I actually missed my flight this morning and have to take a later flight. I won't be able to be on the show tonight, but guess what? May 3rd is coming, and I will see you then. Thanks for being patient. I'm sure it will be a show you won't want to miss. Take care.
I ain't being patient. I'm pouting. I was all prepped, all excited, did all this research, waiting for Dawn. And she misses her flight. Irresponsible. I'm not tolerating it. I'm not having it. Actually, I am. We're just going to deal with it, and we're still going to have a great show. Welcome in. I'm Vera Jones, your host of Certified Unscripted. We've got another great night for you. Yeah, I'm sure I'll hear about that from Dawn later on, but definitely looking forward to having Dawn Staley. The Dawn Staley is going to make her presence known on our show. This is the show where you have the real legends, the raw opinions, and relatable discussions on women's hoops and more. And tonight, all of our very loyal viewers will be happy to know your questions that I feverishly go after from 5 different platforms. I'm going to try to find as many as possible tonight. We've been tap dancing. I had planned on being in studio doing my little tap dance thing. I'm pretty good at it, actually. I got moves. But we were tap dancing like, okay, Dawn's not coming. We got to make this work. So what we're going to do is we're going to take as many of your questions as possible. But first, definitely can't forget to welcome in the GM, Penny Toller. All right, 23 years with the Los Angeles Sparks organization, player, coach, GM, couple of championship rings. You do get rings, right? It's not like belts or anything.
Yeah, right? Not like the USA basketball. Yeah, I got rings. I got 3 of them.
Okay, there you go. All right. Multiple rings. And then just a good old-fashioned good sport as she brings her knowledge and wisdom to the platform every single week. Penny, how's it going?
Hey, it's going great. I was looking forward to Dawn too, man. We were going to throw it back, bring it in the middle, and push it to the end. But you know what? Next week is still going to be a dynamite show, so I can't wait to have her on. Because, I mean, it's a million questions that we would have,
Oh my gosh.
It's going to be an awesome show just to have access to it. So it's going to be a fun show. But this is going to be a fun show today too, because everybody always saying we don't get to their questions like you said. Here's tonight.
Okay. All right, we're gonna literally hot seat it, and also welcome in our executive producer Rita Haywood.
What up, y'all?
How are you?
Good. I'm very good.
What did you do? What did you do when you got that video? When you got that call from Dawn?
Girl, let me tell you. First off,
he called me Penny.
First off, right? I was like, what? And then it's like, you go through that little scramble thing in your head, and I was like, okay. Let me call Penny. So
what did GM do?
And I was like, Penny, I said, I'm trying to find a replacement for tonight, but she's promised, to come on. And, I'm going to put up. She's unfortunately, she had to cancel, do this flight, all the stuff.
She was honest though. She was like, "All right, I missed the flight." Scheduling conflict. I wouldn't have been honest. Yeah.
And Vera, I was like, "Well, Rita, we are certified unscripted, so I'm like, hey, we unscripted. Here we go."
So I'm making some calls. Everybody's tied up. They're busy. And then I was like, "No, let's just have some fun tonight and really just enjoy our fans and talking about stuff." And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put up, that she canceled, whatever. I said, but I know all y'all out there.
I would have been the main one.
In television land, y'all would have been like, yeah, right. Y'all never even had her book. Y'all told us that to get us on your show, to come watch the show. So I'm like, yo, Dawn, send me a video, because they're not going to
Nobody's going to believe me.
Nobody's going to believe that you canceled last minute after I done plugged it for how many days. So
that was smart. You thinking like an executive producer. Definitely.
I got to know how the population's thinking, because they're going to cut me up,
And I can only imagine her schedule, because her schedule is like crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. She's been on all the different night shows, morning shows. So,
Yeah, I know. I'm sure it's got to be exhausting, but it's great. It's a good place. A good problem to have is to be a winner, a champion. That's a good problem to have where everybody wants you.
Right.
All right. Speaking of a winner and a champion, Ruthie Bolton is joining us. You good?
Ruthie, I like she tells you.
You all right?
Ruthie, who you over there disciplining?
Girl, what's going on?
I'm trying to get it. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
We can see you too.
What's going on, Ruthie? Welcome to the show.
Oh yeah, hey, what's up? What's up, T? What's up, T? Hey, I put my shoes on in the locker room. Sorry about that.
All right, that's all right. All right, she's late to the game. No problem. So Teaspoon, Pooh, thank you. Teaspoon, we all want to wish her and the Pelicans luck tonight. That's right. They're battling at 10 p.m., I believe, Eastern time. Yes, series is 2-2. Pelicans Suns tonight. I know I'm not going to be up to watch it, but Spoon, you're with us in spirit. Hope you guys can pull it out.
Hey, Ruthie, who you disciplining over there? You look, I told you, sit your butt down.
No, my friend trying to get this on the computer so I can use the computer. I'm using my phone right now.
Oh, okay. Your phone's doing well, though.
Okay.
First question going out. Penny, come on. There it is. Penny Toller, what are your thoughts on the WNBA charging for the league pass when there are no games being played and they aren't streaming exhibition games? Did you know about that?
I'm assuming this question is, why are they charging for the league pass? Where if there's no games being played and they're not streaming exhibition games, I'm sure they charging, getting ready for the season.
Yeah, but you know what it was? I think part of this was, if I remember correctly, so you get a 7-day trial, right? It's like sign up now for 7 days, get your 7-day trial, and you get all the games for free or whatever. So, but when you sign up, you're really not getting anything because there's nothing streaming. It's kind of like false advertising.
You're going to get the games later. Play the two-headed coins, huh? The two-headed coin.
Yeah.
You can't charge nobody if you ain't got no games going on. You get the 7-day trial when the season starts. You know what? It was funny because I was thinking the other day, I don't know why they don't show exhibition games, because you have people around the world that are fans of these young ladies. Right. And when people get cut, people be like, oh, I wonder why they got cut. I can't believe they got cut. But if you show some of the exhibition games and if they're not playing well, you can see why they got cut. I used to always tell all the college players that would be like, oh, can I come to the game? I always wanted them to come see preseason because that's where the work starts. And you can get a feel of how the team is going to be picked,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would be great if we did have an opportunity to see the preseason games and, let the fans kind of in on who got, who made it and who didn't, who had a good tryout, et cetera. I think even letting that be seen gives more access to the WNBA and makes players feel even more connected to it. I'm going to talk a little bit about Ruthie. Tell us what is training camp and preseason and all of that. What's it like?
Shoot, man, been so long since I've been out. But but you know what? The key is that you got to come in shape, and you got to come in just And now obviously the talent I think is even more. It's steeper now. You coming in as I think the players overall. I'm like back then my time. Okay, it was a handful of certain good players, but now everybody got to come in because obviously, like I said, you need 2 or 3 more teams. So you better come in ready for your spot. So it doesn't matter what you did in college. You need to come in ready to play and ready to perform.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Penny, as a GM, you're out there. I guess the coach really has the say, but how much of that do you get a chance to watch?
You're the GM. You're responsible for it.
So you're there.
The coach has an opinion. Of course, you weigh in on the coach, and it's a collective thing. But the coach doesn't overrule the GM. Mm-hmm. It's sort of like one time we had a great player in practice. Well, she was a very, very good player, and she was coming to our team, and she was. I'm only talking about the Sparks now. You know, I can only talk about my team. And it was, I think and I'm not going to say the name because you'll be shocked who it is. And this is back in the day, you know, when we were doing 2-a-days with Michael Cooper. Like you come in the morning, do some, you know, you do a practice, and then you come in the afternoon for some individual work. And I remember I cut this player after the first practice. And I cut her because it was like, I know your veteran players, your vets, you want them to be in shape. Now, your rookies, you're going to have to wait on them because no matter what they're doing in college, it will not equal what they're doing in the WNBA. And it was funny because Michael started laughing. He go, PT, you going to cut her right now? I go, she's out of here. I go, because the goal for the Sparks is always to win a championship. And like I said in the how you say, the little blog I wrote on my Instagram last week, that if you're a vet, you got to come in shape. We ain't got time for you to get ready. And so Michael thought this player was going to be upset because I go, nah, she's out of here. We can't wait on her to get ready. And she was about to hurt a bunch of other players just because, you know, not being ready, falling on people, fouling people. And it was funny because when I cut her, Michael thought she was going to have a bad reaction. But the one thing I can say about this player is she came over and thanked me. She said, yeah, she thanked me. And that's when I really had great respect for her. She's like, man, I see why you guys win, because look at the level that everybody else is here. I'm not ready. I'm not in shape for this. And she thanked me for cutting her. And that's, you know, like being honest, like what you say, you got to come in shape. You got to come ready to go. I don't wait on no vets. And the reason I'm not going to wait on the vet is because you done seen what the league is. You should know what it takes. And we have to have that time waiting on the rookies, no vets. So as far as I was concerned, if you came to practice, if you came to training camp out of shape, that act is gonna come down real quick.
I gotta pay you.
Where here's let me mute Ruthie. I don't know what's going on with your mic.
I'm trying to say I can't hear.
You can't hear us?
Yeah, we're gonna let Ruthie sit there and have that technical difficulty.
Ruthie gonna have it right. She oh my God. Talk about not ready for training camp, not ready for training. She's not ready for tech. Another question. Speaking of being in shape, rookie Macy Williams walks out of Phoenix training camp because of too many conditioning drills. I saw that and I was like, holy smokes. But hey, a lot of people started clowning her. But it's tough.
And look what I wrote in my article last week. I go, whatever you doing, triple it up. I didn't even say double. I think I said triple it up.
Yeah.
And then people, it's funny because a lot of people just like to play and they don't understand that you got to have the foundation. You know, you got to come in and you got to do some conditioning because all that is a part of mental preparation. People don't understand at this level is more than just playing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When you get here, it's a chess game, and a lot of this stuff is mentally and physically preparing yourself. For anybody that read my article, like I say, they get in camp. I'm not saying this young lady didn't do that, and they psych themselves out of position because going to any WNBA training camp is like going somewhere you've never been before. The only thing I could say that may be equivalent to it is the USA basketball.
Speaking of which, let's go back to USA basketball. Perfect timing. Penny, I see you played in the 1989 USA World Championship qualifying team with Jennifer Azzi, Medea Dixon, Big Venus. I need my glasses. Andrea Stinson. I love Stintz. How was it playing with them way back then?
I think she might got that wrong because I'm older.
That wasn't you?
Yeah, I never. I'm trying to think who. When I was on the team, it was Susan McConnell, unless, you know, hey, I'm old now. I could be forgetting people. You know what I'm saying? But I know it was Susan McConnell. I think Venus was there because Venus, that's my girl. You know, A, she always have candy. And B, Venus, if you ever met Venus, she's the funniest person in the world. And I always like chocolate. So, you know, and then there was Susan. I can't remember who was on that team, but I tell you this, all those people were awesome people. Medina did sometimes think was Medina on that team? Could have been. It was so long ago. I don't think Azzi was though. And but I always know playing on the national team, it was always fun, you know. It was always fun. Obviously, I wanted to be Olympian like Ruthie. So I'm gonna get on the side with the haterade with all the other people saying I don't know why I wasn't on that team, you know. But you know that's the way it goes. Later down the line, at least I was able to pick 3 Olympic teams.
You are Olympian gold medalist GM.
Well, thank you, Ruthie.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah. Thank you, Mighty Ruthie.
Ruthie, can I be the Olympic gold medalist broadcaster? Can I be
Yes,
that?
yeah, you can. And you know what? A lot of people love your style. They say, well, y'all, they always tell me how awesome you are. Yeah, you got it. You got it, girl.
Thank you. All right. But I still got game. Let me show you something. Somebody gave me props before I even get to this. I'm coming back to you, Xavier. I'm coming back. We are unscripted. Wait a minute. Let me show y'all now. I'm going to be the first to tell you. Somebody gave me a shout out. Wait a minute. I got to get it on here. When you're the host, you can find your own shout outs. Look. Boom. Vera looks like you getting in shape. Go, girl. Okay, so let's share.
How much?
Let's share.
How much you pay her, V?
I didn't pay her anything.
That's her best friend.
That's
I'm
her
gonna share
best
screen.
friend,
No,
right?
Daddy, I don't even know. That's Moni Williams. Moni Love.
That's her best friend from 5th grade.
Oh, I know it is. I know it is.
Wait. I'm gonna share. Wait, I'm gonna show you guys what. Since we're talking about getting in shape, I'm really trying to share my screen here. It's just totally not happening. There it is. Okay, so you guys might need to see this. I want to let you know. There it is on Facebook. Nope, can't see that. Nope, that's not working. Okay, we're not sharing. All right, well, just gotta believe me. I wanted to show off that I'm getting in shape. I've been inspired by Ruthie. If I can pull it up later, I will. Showing off the guns. And then last week, Ruthie and Ruthie, right? Everybody's shown up, so I'm motivated now. I'm ready, and I'm doing kickboxing. And I won.
I guess we gotta go. I actually did. I was speaking it. Actually, today I said, you know what? Let me go back and get us some shape. And I actually worked out because I'm a morning person. If I don't do it in the morning, so I went down at 4 o'clock.
Thank you, Moni. By the way,
I give myself 60 days. And 60 days, Moni. I want my shout out.
I want 30. I got 30 days. 30 days.
All right. All right. I'm going back to cousin Xavier's question. I'm not sure about this one. Talk about 2023 prioritization and what players you expect to be suspended because of the WNBA pay versus overseas pay, and what top players you believe will miss next season. Jonquel Jones actually has already hinted at it along with Stewie. Any thoughts on that? Know anything about that?
Well, I tell you what, I was on the executive committee from the WNBA side when they were doing the collective bargaining agreement. And the reason it is because you need players in market, and that was part of the thing. If we pay you more money, we want you to be here on time for training camp. We want you to be here to help market the team. And this is the year that this takes effect, that if you're not in training camp at the start, you will be suspended, Yep. And this just goes to my thing where you have to draw the line because you can't get the money and you're not there. So the WNBA is trying to make sure the league survive. And to be honest with you, look at what's happening across the world right now. All these foreign teams are running out of money, but the WNBA is still going strong, And people are going to have to decide, because if you do want it to be successful, you do have to be here. And then the flip side of that is, and I'm shouting out to anybody that owns a business, they need to invest in women's basketball. Don't just call us when we need to turn the world over, like turning the state blue, speaking up for social justice. All those things, the WNBA has a huge value. You need to invest in us.
Amen.
Like I saw some of the players did, I think who was it, Candace, Chanawa, and Clarendon at the Women's Final Four when they were saying the WNBA isn't a charity league. No, it's not a charity league. We have value. We do a lot of things. But yeah, all these teams, I can tell you, want to pay these players more money, but they can't pay them more money if you don't buy a ticket. All the people sitting at home, pay them more money, do this. Okay, then buy a ticket. You can start right there. Buy a ticket and help.
Buy some jerseys.
Buy a ticket and you can buy the app too, can't you?
Yeah, pay for the all access, And I can tell you right now, I still watch a lot of women's basketball, but I'm not going to lie to you. Even if I'm not going to be in the house, I turn it on because I'm doing my part to make sure the ratings stay up there. So I know how that goes, But it's so much, discretionary dollars out here that is interested. Hey, the NBA got enough money.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Give us some of your dollars. We're valuable. I used to tell people this: if you come to one WNBA game, I don't care what city you're in, you're gonna want to come back to another.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
Question.
for all 12 teams.
Any word on Della Don's health coming into the season? She could be an all-time great, but the injuries, them injuries have literally just sometimes I totally forget about her. Anything new on that front?
Not that I heard. But didn't she have Lyme disease also or something like that?
So something that's nagging and
yeah.
But it was her back last year. From what I heard, I don't know if unless it's something that's changed. I heard she was in practice rocking and rolling. You know, one thing about Mike Tebow, he's gonna have those girls ready to play. And I think a lot of people forget that Alicia Clark is down there. She's healthy. You know, that's gonna be a nice look. But you know, they lost Messerman. She went to Chicago, you know, to play with Parker and to be back with James Wade. This league, it got so much player movement that it's gonna be exciting. Even with Liz coming to the Sparks and Kennedy Carter coming to the Sparks. You know, it's gonna be interesting what a lot of these teams turn out to be. But I'm gonna tell you something, Della Don, she definitely should be one of the best to ever play. But I do agree with them that the injuries, you know, you can't forget that she's even, you know, she's available to play.
Yeah, I almost said, and I would not. I mean, she's not even close, so it's not even fair. But if I can turn this, because we are unscripted for a second, I don't follow the NBA the way, like I'm being honest, like you know, all of a sudden the playoffs come around and then I jump in because it's the playoff time, right? That's kind of how I am. But the whole Ben Simmons thing, what, like right now, and I'm not saying Della Don's the Ben Simmons of the WNBA, but sometimes I think the mysterious illnesses or injuries or whatever it is, like in the media, there's only so much we can report. For instance, there would be a time, particularly when a game's going on, if I'm going into the locker room to interview a coach or whatever, there are actually times that they're like, nope, we're not saying what the injury is. We're not talking about it, the whole piece. So, and I'm sure that there is some political agenda that keeps that sacred. I get it. But again, when you're talking about the fan base and you're talking about, you know, fans want to see certain players, organizations have spent tons of money for certain players, and then those players don't show up, and there's no real legitimate or at least publicized reason. Now, I know Ben Simmons has had a whole bunch of different injuries, a back being one of them. I have had that herniated disc.
Yeah.
It's no joke. Rita, you probably can speak to, you know, trying to rehab something like that is crazy. But I am just curious about if anybody out there that is, because that one has caught my eye in terms of what's up with that? I mean, the whole season.
I think they even gave him an epidural not too long ago to, you know, to see if it would relieve some of the pain, but it must be something other than, it's got to be some other factor that's, you know, messing with his back and then traveling, because you can have a back injury, but it can kind of stem from something else, maybe going on, imbalance in your hips, or, you know, he needs to be thoroughly checked out and evaluated.
Yeah.
Well, I know we were talking about it yesterday in the office, because some of the guys I work with, they go, hey, Penny, what do you think about Ben Simmons? I think they were saying like they thought he let the team down because he was supposed to play 10 days ago when he got traded and all that. And to be honest with you, like they didn't like my answer, because I know a lot of people obviously, you know, they going ham on the guy. My thing was, as a coach, to be honest with you, I wouldn't want him to play, even if he was just one game. I mean, how do you get one guy into a game of that magnitude to get? That's not time to get acclimated.
Yeah.
If you can't win with what you got, like I said, if you can't dance with the partner that got you to dance, then you don't need to be dancing, because people mad because you didn't step out there. I think they would have had more problems if you stepped out there, because now you're trying to play with somebody you never even had time to play with.
Right. And risk greater injury and even more time in dollars.
And unfortunately, they did get swept. You know, they got swept. You know.
And how much was he going to change that?
And my thing is, if KD and Kyrie can win it, you think with Ben Simmons they're going to win it too, and the guy never played with him?
Yeah.
And I don't even think coach even expected him to play, you know, with that injury, even though, you know, the media was talking about it. But from a coach's perspective, just like you said, Penny, you're not going to take that chance and put him out there on the floor.
Not at all.
He hasn't been acclimated. So it's definitely, it was a wise decision, I think.
And that's why I think the criticism that he's getting is very unfair, because I would have looked at the coach, you know, as far as I'm concerned, if it ain't Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, everybody else, I'll see you next year, or if we have another game. Them are the only two players that I know that could walk out there and probably, do some stuff for you, and they ain't played in a while.
Right.
Oh, so this, I guess this is a question for me, huh?
It is your question.
All right, let me get into it. So who is this? Ballers Page.
Ballers Page.
Ballers Page is asking a question basically of why Katrina McClain, Cheryl Miller, and Let Wood have not come on yet. Well, the situation is that all of these players have lives outside of basketball now. We've contacted all three of them. I'll start with Katrina McClain. Katrina McClain, in case you didn't know, is a very, very, very private person. She's never really loved the spotlight or to be out there and just, and I explained to her people are interested in her because she was such a great professional basketball player. And there's deep interest in her, Cheryl, as well as Lynette. But they have other responsibilities. They have actually things that they're doing that have nothing to do with basketball. And I have to actually go on their time frame. So Katrina McClain is someone that I'm constantly in contact with. Cheryl Miller's people, the same thing, and Lynette Woodard. So we are waiting on them in regard to their life, their time schedule, when they're available and when they're comfortable, more importantly, to come on. So it's not like we aren't out there requesting them, letting them know how much the fans miss them. But at the same time, like I said, they have a life. They're content where they are, and they don't necessarily want to just jump back in right now, but they do promise at some point in time to be available.
All right. Very well said. Very well said. And glad that we are in touch with all of them.
Yes, sir.
Question. Will Chicago Sky be a top 5 team this season if all healthy? They added Emma, which is an amazing get. The only problem is Copper is still overseas and Parker arrives on Thursday. How much Candace Parker got in them legs? And Tina Charles probably like she got the Phoenix, and Griner won't play this year, obviously. And remember last year she went to DC and Della Don kept being hurt. So thoughts?
Yeah, obviously
start with Chicago being a top 5 team.
Luther, you want to say something?
I think they will. And I mentioned about Candace. I think to me, to be honest, she like we talked about, she's become such a great leader. She know how to make people around her better. Some games she didn't score a whole bunch of points, but she directed. She was like the floor. I think they're gonna be a contender because just their confidence is in their groove, in their rhythm. I think they're gonna be a contender.
Okay.
Yeah, they definitely a top 5 team. You start any team, you need a 1 and a 5. Even though Candace, can obviously play all 5 positions, but add Messerman, that adds to it. I guess that's scary too, because if Copper doesn't get back in a minute, I mean, she would be one of those ones suspended from the first questions that we asked earlier about, overseas versus you have to make it to training camp, some part of training camp. They're definitely a top 5, and I always say they got the title right now, so it comes to them. And Vandersloot, I mean, look, they lost Stephanie Dawson, which that was some size. But you added Messerman, they lost to Diamond DeShields, went to Phoenix. And to answer that second part of the question, my God, Tina Charles, I bet Tina can I get a break? And Phoenix would be down on their knees praying to all the gods, thanking the gods that they got Tina Charles over there. Because if they didn't have Tina Charles, they would be hurting. And they got a nice squad, and it's going to be interesting to see what Vanessa could do with that team. Vanessa Nygaard being a rookie coach, only coached 1 year, in the W, set behind Bill. The same with Tanisha 1 year. I did see that Atlanta won their preseason game, but those are games that don't count.
Right.
But I mean, Phoenix should be thanking all their lucky stars, and and I just want to say while we're on this, I pray to God that Brittany can get home.
Yeah. I had a question about Becky Hammond. How do you think she's going to do?
Now they're gonna kill me when I say this name, right? It's funny because Chelsea called me out the blue the other day, and Chelsea calls me by my real name. For y'all to know out there, my Penny's not my real name. So Chelsea and Elena Beard always call me my real name. She goes, Virginia. It's always like, C. Gray, what up? What up, C. Gray? Like, she said, Virginia, what you doing? I said, girl, I'm actually getting my nails done. How you doing? I hadn't talked to her in a while. And she said, I had to call you because you've been on my mind. And then I wanted to call you because I guess Becky, thank you, Becky. Becky doing what Penny used to do, giving her team WNBA quizzes in training camp about the WNBA. So she said when it came up who scored the first basket in the history of the WNBA, her and McQuan were going, hey, you better pick us, you better pick us. And I guess they told them, y'all better not get this wrong. So that's how the conversation started. And I asked Chelsea, I said, Chelsea, how do you think Becky, well, how you guys like Becky, right? And she said, well, what do you think, PT? And she wanted to do what I said. So I said, okay. I said, I think she's going to be great. To answer your question, Big Beer, I think because the good thing about it is she knows the WNBA, she knows its history, and now she's been on the Spurs. And I always thought Popovich did a lot of great things, like developing players. That was a team that they get players, you don't know where they came from, then they be stars all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think she's gonna bring a fresh take on it, just like Natalie, her assistant coach.
Natalie Williams.
No, not Natalie Williams is GM. They have Natalie. Oh. I think her last name is Ninkaki or something like Ninkaki.
Oh, okay.
Or something.
No, I don't know.
She actually was an assistant coach over here with the Clippers. She
was
assistant coach with the Clippers. So her other assistant have been in men's basketball too. And I think they're gonna bring a nice flavor to it. And Chelsea said she was just having a great time. You know, obviously they're running some NBA sets. And she said she's been having a great time and they're gonna have a great team. And she really likes like what she sees so far from Becky.
All right. Sound good. You got any thoughts, Mighty Ruthie?
It's some sort of noise where I'm at. But anyway, I to me, like Penny said, she was with what's the San Antonio coach names?
Popovich.
Yeah. They know what success is. Their team is good on the court, but also from rumors that he's real big on teamwork, integrity. So I think she's gonna bring some of that, like unity, and that's what made, so I think that to me, I think they're gonna do well. And plus she's a competitor. I'm like she loves to get it, like she don't mind getting dirty,
Did y'all play against? Did you play against Becky when she was at either New York or
I played against her. Yeah, we rubbed shoulders a little tough. Yeah, I played against her. Yeah, I had to use some of my good fouls on her because she was getting to the hole too easy. I had to foul some of my good couple fouls on her, but no, I respect her game because she didn't care. She said don't sleep on this white girl. So that was her. That was what she was saying. Hey, so she held her own.
Okay.
I think she definitely has knowledge because of where she's been the last few years. I think it's going to be a lot of pressure on her because I think people are expecting her to come out the gate being successful, and that's pressure, coming in your first season. But I think she is somebody that can bring the team together. She will absolutely have to get to know the players, get the chemistry right, find that combination, that 7 to 8 players that can really do it all.
Yep.
And that, she'll end up all right. But I think it's a lot of pressure on her, whether she acts like it or not. It's pressure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's pressure just to sit on the bench. The thing that she got going for is that she knows the product.
Yes.
And I said, if you know the product, it's not hard. She know who the players is. I'm sure she probably still watched it. And my God, I mean, let's just start with Aja Wilson, Chelsea Gray.
Yeah, she's got the team. She's got the team.
She got the Erica Hamby's ready. Unfortunately, Liz left, but I think they're gonna be running and playing a great style of basketball. I got them in my top 5 too. They definitely in my top 5 team.
Do you have can you give us that top 5 right now?
Well, like if I'm gonna tell you, like if I was just picking like right now, and there's gonna be some people out there mad at me, but I don't care. No particular order, okay? No particular order. For me, I got Vegas, I got Chicago, I got Seattle. I have Vegas, Chicago, Seattle, Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? I have the Sparks. I put them up there. And then if I were to throw somebody else in there, Phoenix, if they can get their team together. But my top five would be Seattle, Connecticut, Chicago, Vegas, and the Sparks.
Got
That's
it.
what I got. That would be my five with Phoenix. Obviously,
I would
Phoenix,
replace.
they loaded.
I would replace. I like that Penny. But what about Minnesota?
Oh yeah, I forgot about Cheryl, but I'm gonna tell you something. Cheryl, one thing I will say about Cheryl, yeah, Minnesota, yeah, you know what? Yeah, you know that's
You know,
what I say.
Angel gonna be there. Angel gonna
Uh-huh.
come out. Angel playing with them, and she's gonna, I think, come out hungry.
Oh yeah, I think she's gonna come out hungry too. And then I love my girl Big Siv. This is her last year. That's Sylvia Files for you guys out there. And then one thing I will say, Cheryl can coach. One thing about her team, they're gonna be competitive because look at last year when they thought they wasn't gonna be good, and here Cheryl is in the Final Four of the WNBA. You're right, Ruthie. Yeah, I would say I would definitely put Minnesota and Phoenix. That would be my top 7, and take your pick for whoever else will make it for the last 8 for the playoffs.
All right, you got Xavier agreeing with you, at least on the Sparks anyway. Think that they have developed as a contender.
Yeah, if he can get them to gel and they can play together, and you need a little bit of staying healthy. I think it's going to be a real good team. But the only thing I say to what was his name, Zare? Hey, don't count Chrissy Towler out. I always love being Chrissy's general manager, because that's a coach on the floor with a great brain,
Right. This has been an ongoing discussion, and I'm sure this is going to be very debatable. I have had personal debates that have gotten revved up, but the whole piece on men, okay, there's the NBA, there's WNBA, there's men's hoops, there's women's hoops, and fine. And then there's the whole thought of we all should hold hands and sing Kumbaya and be together, right? Now we've got this whole new piece coming in on, okay, what about transgender athletes? Where do they play? So there's all of these discussions around the men, the women, and how that all fits into the big picture, I think is a big sociological discussion. But the part about coaching, that part has always stuck with me a little bit, because when there have been people like Becky Hammon, women go and coach the NBA, and some people are going, yay, equality. We're finally getting our chance and our opportunity. And then other people go, oh, they think they're better than everybody because they go into the men, so they don't care about the women, right? So that's one thought process. The other is, now that the women are doing well, the whole point of why there were always all these men coaches, why weren't women, especially former players, getting an opportunity to coach just like it was happening in the NBA? So there's all these, bitter and salty and sore feelings out there. Can you give us any clarity, at least from your perspectives, of where men and women fit into this whole picture of who should be allowed to coach whom? That was a very long question, but you get my point.
Let me start off. I think that that's just history. Men have coached men, women have coached women, but it hasn't been that way on the women's side, because the men have been allowed to come in, whether it's in college or even in the WNBA, and play. And I think that has a lot to do with people who are making the decisions up high in the WNBA, the GMs, the execs that say they want this. Some of it is, to be quite honest, is just nepotism to a certain extent, where I want this person because I promised this person if I ever got in this position, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. But I've always felt that if we're going to just play basketball, it shouldn't matter if I'm a woman coaching in the NBA. If I know my X's and O's, I should be respected for that. And I, as a woman, have to know my worth in regard to what I have as my gift. If it's going to be an equal situation in terms of that, then it needs to be equal pay as well. But there's always been that discrepancy because of the pay scale. The man has always been the breadwinner of the family and provider, and so on and so forth. But times have changed. We are now, providers of the family, and you have a lot of single parents. but we're just as qualified as any male. It's not male or female. It's about what's up in here and the mindset that we transfer to our players to make them great, because we're really just servants in terms of showing them, open up Pandora's box and find your greatness and bring it out. But I think a lot of it has to do with decisions that are made behind doors that we don't even know about, and things that are promised that really have nothing to do with the actual sport, but promises, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, speaking on that, I tell you what, like Rita said, just to talk a little bit on that, because when you're talking X's and O's and how to teach the game, women, we can teach the game, we can play it. I guarantee you, I don't care any guy out there, I'll take the same amount of women. I guarantee you our footwork won't be better. You know, the only thing we ain't doing is just jumping out the gym and all that. But footwork, plays, shooting, we're gonna shoot with the best of them. Now, I do think it was bogus and whack when Becky went to, interview for Portland, and then they talk about, oh, some people didn't like her or whatever because of this, and then you hire, who was it, Chauncey Billups, and I'm not talking about him, but I'm saying his record was worse than hers. You know what I'm saying? About the rumors. I don't really get into the rumors, but if you didn't want to hire her, don't try to dirty her up. Just say, hey, we're going in a different direction. So I wasn't really cool with that. You know what I'm saying? And I can tell you that sometimes people don't get it. Even myself as a GM, I have a lot of power, and make a lot of decisions, but sometimes owners are making decisions about some of this stuff. I can tell you that now that I'm not a GM, just to let y'all in there, and they may want somebody. But I also know too, even in my later years, it's not a player on this team can't tell me that this wasn't true. When I hire coaches, I'd be like, hey, these are the coaches we're about to hire, talk to them. And I tell the players, tell me if you want this person to coach you. You have the conversation. They come like, yeah, we want this coach. We want that coach. Because, I was evolving with the time, and hey, let the players have a say and all this stuff. But at the same time, it's a lot of women that get on here and they want to admit this. And I'm saying this out there, that a lot of women want to be coached by a man coach. And that's just straight up. And they say that.
I know players have said that.
They say it. I don't know why. Like I said, I let all my players talk to whoever was going to be the coach. Hey, call him. Or he's going to call you. Let me know what you think, because at the end of the day, I don't have to play for him. And I do believe that, you want them to have an opinion on him because they got to play for him,
But I also think, like, I look at the situation with the Liberty, and I don't know if y'all agree, but the coach that they had in place last year, the year before Sandy, if you looked at his resume and some of the resumes of the young women in WR, or you look at Spoon's resume even in that particular situation, he wasn't really qualified. And it's like, why did we hire him, or why did we hire this assistant coach? And you have to look at it and understand that people on the outside, that's how they're looking at it. Like, why was that done? So it's got to be something going on the inside.
People wasn't happy when I hired Derek. You know what I'm saying? But the point is,
but Derek, the thing with Derek is that he was a player and he had experience.
And he was very familiar with the team. And like, I don't have to justify it.
But like I said, going back to that Liberty decision, it was like, what the heck was that about? Like,
but I got a bigger question for you. And not to get off the topic, but I got a bigger question for you. What I found was shocking. And I know we want to hire people. But and look, I ain't got nothing against them because hallelujah, I'm glad they got the jobs or whatever. But it took Vicky 11 years to get a job, or I don't know, 12 years to get a head coaching job. Vanessa Nygaard moved off the bench in 1 year.
Wow.
Tanisha, I think, might have been in Vegas for 2 or 3, but you get what I'm saying?
Well, she was there like
but it took Vicky 9-10 years to get that job in Dallas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I understand that.
No. I'm agreeing with you, Rita. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, because he didn't have the experience, So it just a matter, and like I told you, just a matter of if it's the owner, or I'm telling you, like, I don't know, but I will say that, and I'm just speaking from a GM perspective, that we ain't the only ones up here making all these decisions.
Right. Absolutely. So, in that situation, it was just so obvious, like a regular, person, I would just say, that comes to the games, they're like, well, who is he? And why is he in this position when you've had, one of your greatest sitting there waiting for an opportunity?
Right.
And then you ask yourself too, because and I'm not questioning their decision. I know they GM Jonathan, he's cool and all that, but you know, even especially coming off another new coach in Katie Smith. You know, so I know they might have should have went a different way, but I can't speak for them because you know I did what I did. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, yeah, it is interesting. You know, I look back on it. You know, Spoon should have got a shot. You know, that's how I gave Jennifer Gillum a shot. You know, because she knew the project, she knew the product. But it's crazy too how I tell you what, when I write my memoirs, be sure that I'm going to write about that era in the Sparks because I think people will find that era with when Jennifer Gillum, you know, I really saw some things that I was like, oh, wow. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know, just between the players and the dynamics of that whole thing, that people, you have no idea. So much stuff that goes on behind these scenes.
That's why we got you on here, Penny. All you do is tease us with it. I can't talk about it.
I got to at least get some people to buy the book.
She got That's right. I can't wait till this book comes out. I cannot wait. I'm sure I'm going through page by page by page and go, let's talk about this. All right. Well, we touched on a few of the teams, got your top 5, 6, 7. Real quick about, because that's right, they're from Facebook user. Who's that? Call them Bookie.
They're in the group probably.
Bookie you. Right. With the season opener coming up in soon, any predictions on the Liberty, the Aces, and the Mercury? Because they all had coaching changes. Thoughts?
I think all of them will be improved.
Yeah, Sandy can coach. You know, I've had Sandy here as an assistant coach here at the Sparks. Mm-hmm. And Ruthie, you better wake up over there, whatever you're doing, and get in this game. You better, I don't know where you zoning out, girl.
Ruthie have, oh my God.
But Sandy, one thing I say about Sandy, and it's no secret why she went, there's a student of the game. You know, I think she's going to do well. I think Becky's going to do well. I think the table is set for all of them to do well. Out of all 3 of those, the scenario is, you know, like I said, how Vanessa Nygaard, who's been an assistant coach for 1 year, now goes to a head coach. What is that going to look like? And with that veteran team there, you know, because now you got to get them to buy into your system, you know, to do what you say, and them small world players over there, you know. So it's going to be that's the only one I say is going to be really, really interesting.
Yeah. All right.
I think the Liberty are going to surprise a lot of people. I think they're going to have the biggest improvement. I think overall with Sandy at the helm, teach them how to really be winners by how they play and perform every day in practice. Taking it to the next level.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think that was a great pickup when she picked up Stephanie Dawson because they definitely needed some size in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, one thing about Sandy, I think she can coach, and another thing I like about her team, she got those young legs, you know, and those young legs right now, they can win you some games.
Right. What were you about to say, Ruthie?
No, I agree too, because Sandy, she's been around the block and she knows how to. All of these players are professional players, okay? So I think she does a really good job, like bringing out the best in that player and bringing out the best in that player for that team. So I think she'll do well. Yeah, Vanguard, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
And those and let's just face it, people might scared to say it, but those are some personalities on that team, you know. I would hate to see what happens if they were to lose 2 or 3 games in a row, you know. Yeah. And then getting back to Sandy, not only that, you know, she hired her husband, Olaf. He left Chicago bench and went to New York, so he's her assistant coach. And here's another coach that's great at developing players. You know?
Okay. Oops, sorry. Ruthie, I'm hearing some background or whatever. I think it might be your keyboard or something. So why is Lisa Leslie not a WNBA coach? I didn't say college because Tina Thompson kind of put a red flag on what ex-players being successful in college is all about, right? So Karen is the next stoplight praying for success at Duke for her. So I thought this was a nice segue too, is just, what about that? Why aren't we seeing more WNBA? Is it because the product, you keep talking about the product, Penny, is it so significantly different? coach in the WNBA or play in the WNBA, and then try to bring that experience into the college game?
Well, I don't know. To me, if Lisa Les wanted to coach, I think she could. Don't Lisa, everything she touched turns to gold.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, I don't. Maybe that's just something I don't know. Maybe she's
might not be what she wants to do.
But
well, obviously it might not be. I'll ask Lisa, did she want to coach Sparks for a year? So I don't know why. I said, Lisa, you want to come coach the team? You know, so
she was like, nope.
I think I can't remember what she said, but you know, and she would kill me for saying that. And you know, when I early in my GM career, I even asked Lynette Woodard, you know.
Okay. Yep.
Who I thought had a great temperament, you know, too. And they both gonna kill me. They gonna kill me for divulging that.
Yeah, well, that's all right. You gotta let people know that you got this. No problem.
I think it's
you know what?
Timing too.
When you're a coach, your whole life is coaching. So
what you say, Rita?
I said when you're a coach, a head coach, your whole life is coaching.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
It takes up so much of your life, not time. It takes up your life. Like your whole life is inundated with tapes, films, breakdowns. Then the crazy thing is when it just stops abruptly.
And Rita, people don't know. Our whole meeting came from when I was a player at Syracuse. Exactly. You were an assistant coach at St. John's. So people don't even know your basketball background. They just see you as the producer, right? But you know.
We know, girl. Yeah. A month on the road recruiting. Oh, hell
no. Brutal. Right. I know.
I remember my last year. I am not doing this anymore.
I tell you what, if they gave me Dom money, get my bags ready.
Okay. Now that would change something.
That would change my mind.
2 months? Okay, I'm out there for 2 months. I get what you're saying though, because even as a GM, I stopped traveling with the team in the end because they got a look by, hey, give me 24 million. And I'm like, point me where I'm going.
Where? What time? Oh, an hour? Okay, I'll be there. You know.
Speaking of the college game, before we get ready to start wrapping things up, I was stumbling, I was, surfing, and I saw something, and I just want to know, what would your reaction be to this? And some of our viewers out there, you can chime in. But all I'm going to say is this player is a former UCLA basketball player. Her name is Nicole Cornett. And just watch, and then I'll let you see or find out what happened, all right? I just want you to check this out real quick.
Three-pointer is a prize from overhead court shot for the glory.
I love the celebration there. So Nicole Cornett, she's a former UCLA basketball player. And so she had to make the layup, the free throw, the three-pointer, and then the half-court shot. And if she made all four in a certain amount of time, the winning prize, the grand prize, is a brand new car. And she's all excited. Everybody's celebrating. She hits it, which almost never happens, which is probably why they can offer a car. Right. She couldn't get the car. She was disqualified because she's a former player. I don't know about y'all, but if I went, first of all, sweat out my dude with my makeup, trying to be cute, and I'm starting to knock him down, and all of a sudden I hit the half court shot. I'm doing that dance and a few more. I'm making up some moves, right? I am doing all kinds of stuff, and somebody's gonna have to come get me because if I'm not going out in that car. So she gets the good sportsmanship award. I'm telling you right now, because she didn't get the car.
I would have been pissed because first of all, I went there. I do know that that's the rule. But my thing of it is, how do you pick her? Then why pick her?
Right. Well, you know what?
You know what I'm saying? Why pick her?
They didn't expect she was going to make it. So I read further.
Exactly. So I want my car. It's not
right. They told her in advance. So that's, I think, what saved them. They actually said, well, if you do make it, we'll pick you, for fun, have some fun with it. But if you make it, not expecting she would make it, right? You can't win the car. So they did actually tell her. She was like, okay, well, I want to do it anyway. She probably didn't think she was going to make it.
Right.
So, but
Yeah,
I still would have been salty. I was like,
you
change
know
the
what?
rules.
I mean, well, okay.
They had to give me a moped or something.
I guess that's what I
I'm
said.
gas for a year.
I'll clap for
Right,
her.
I
But
can
I
go
would have
home
been
with
like,
something.
I would have been like, don't even pick me, because if I get out there, I'm trying to win. So I would have been like, don't even pick me. That's crazy. I wouldn't have done that for fun. I wouldn't have done that for fun, because look at what happened.
Oh, exactly. So that's why I had to give her a shout. You can visit her at Nicole Cornett. I don't know what her little handle is, but that's her name, Nicole Cornett, Kornet. I think that should go viral because that's tough to do. That is tough.
Hey.
Even Ruthie.
I missed the half-court shot. I did it. I tried a month ago. I missed the half-court shot at the Kings game.
Mm-hmm.
A charity got like maybe $6,000. Had I made it, they would have got 10. But I redeemed myself at the Final Four. At the Final Four,
you
I
did?
made the half-court shot.
Okay. All right. Good. But all four like that, that's hard to do. That's hard to do. But I thought that was awesome.
You had that range too, boo. You had that range.
Okay.
Man, listen. Hands down, man down. That's what I thought.
All right, so we had a couple of questions. People had I wanted to just say we did go ahead and we did tackle the Ben Simmons question a little bit earlier. Somebody came back later and asked again. That's the only thing about doing this in a linear real time. So you did not get dissed. I'm checking the last of these questions. I think I got most of them tonight between Facebook and YouTube. Definitely appreciate everybody being on. Some final thoughts though. It's 8:27. Any final? Oh wait, we got one more video. One more. I just love that this is certified unscripted. It works perfectly with my right brain that does whatever it wants to do, whenever it wants to do it. I love it. So for those of you that missed it from the top, this is what was supposed to happen today, but will indeed happen next week.
Hey, all you certified unscripted viewers. This is Dawn Staley, and I know I was supposed to appear on the podcast tonight, but unfortunately, due to a schedule conflict, I actually missed my flight this morning and have to take a later flight. I won't be able to be on the show tonight, but guess what? May 3rd is coming, and I will see you then. Thanks for being patient. I'm sure it will be a show you won't want to miss. Take care.
So that was awesome. Awesome that she did that for us. And awesome that you got her, Rita. And we're definitely looking forward to that next week. So bring your Dawn Staley questions. We're probably going to have to go into overtime because I got about 50 million questions I want to ask all by myself. So, but final thoughts, Ruthie, because your mic makes me crazy as it's going through.
I know. Let me say
go first.
Talk about it, right?
Hey, final thoughts. Hey, you know what? I'm excited about the WNBA season this year, and I'm going to some games. I'm going to Minnesota, watch Minnesota play. I'm going to Chicago, but I'm excited. Everybody out there, buy your tickets or buy the
league pass.
The league pass. Support the WNBA.
All right, good thought. Penny, you got one?
No, I'm just going to echo what Mighty 50 said. It's going to be a great WNBA season. I love all the movement. Can't wait to see a lot of these new coaches come in and see what they're going to do. It's going to be a great season. I like all the movement, and I can't wait to watch it. And hey, I'm looking forward to seeing Dawn next week too. I got a couple of good questions for her myself.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
I think I got about 20 questions as well. I'm looking forward to having her come back on. We'll have her come on next week, and we're gonna have some nice people on. And just stay tuned. Just make sure you subscribe to us and keep us in your pocket. All right. Thanks for everything.
Right.
Nisi Rowan wanted to ask: anybody coming out to Seattle for some games? I wish I could.
She paid my airfare. I'm coming.
I know, airport, right? Let's start up a GoFundMe. I'm there.
GoFundMe.
Hey, you know what? That's not a bad question though. With Sue already saying it's her last year, it's gonna be sad, when to see Sue leave. It might be Diana's last year, and Sylvia Fowles already said it's her last year. So my advice to Cheryl, you better go get you a big man, boo, because one of the greats is about to step out after this year, and she's been so loyal and faithful to Minnesota and Cheryl. So I'm really hoping that Sylvia has a great year too, along with Sue and Dinah.
Well, we got a lot to look forward to, and you all are great, bringing us everything for what we should be looking for. Rita, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I love y'all as a team, and I'm just really happy with the direction we're going in. As certified unscripted, look forward to the days to come, and thank God that we're still here to give some knowledge and insight into the sport and how it's evolved, and the people who have really set the foundation for it. So we're here keeping the spirit of the game alive. We're gonna have a lot of surprises. Stay tuned and stick with it with us. Okay.
Yep. And my final thought is we are missing our teaspoon, our fun and fantastic and furious teammate, but at the same time, we're missing her for a good reason. Can't believe the Pelicans are still fighting it out. And so we wish them good luck tonight. See Spoon on the bench, give her a good hello, and hopefully she'll be joining. Well, if I shouldn't say hopefully she'll join us next week, because that means they lost. So we'll just see what happens. Right?
Hey, shout out to my brother again, Rami Hayward. I love you.
Shout out, Ronnie. All right.
Shout out to my brother every week.
Shout out to Daynine. I see you. Shout out to my son Drew, who actually tuned in for a change.
8 brothers. My 11
All right.
sisters and 8 brothers.
Good Lord. 8, 10, you got 10 brothers and sisters, right?
I got 20 total.
20 total.
Yeah.
Well, everybody giving a shout out. I'm giving a shout out to all my folks back in DC and of course in LA.
Atlanta Angels.
All right, and we got a ton, and I've got some other stuff that I'll wait for next week when Dawn Staley will be joining us, and hopefully you'll be joining us too. Remember, when it comes to talking about women's hoops, we not new to this. We true to this. We are certified unscripted. All right, see you all next week. Thank you so much, all of our loyal fans on Facebook and YouTube. Next week, Tuesday, 7:30 p.m.